Some major news as we are seeing multiple departures from AEW, including high-profile talent like Miro, Ricky Starks, and more. We're going to talk about exactly who those talent are, what's going on, are they free to go wherever they want and potentially sign with WWE? That's what we are going to look at right here in this video. Don't go anywhere. Be sure to smash that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Let's start talking about it. It was revealed today that multiple AEW talent are done with the company officially, including Malakai Black, who we kind of knew about, but other names that we didn't know about include Ricky Starks, someone who has not been seen on AEW TV for the better part of a year now, and Miro, who has not been seen on AEW ever since World's End 2023. So a lot is being made online about this. We will talk about each person individually. We will start, however, with the man known as Miro. Let's take a look at the report around him. This, according to PW Insider, which was, of course, aggregated by Wrestle Purists and others, stating Miro is gone from AEW. Miro and AEW came to a mutual agreement on his exit from the company. So Miro, someone, again, who has not been seen on AEW for over a year, gone from the company. It is interesting to note that Miro has had a very up and down kind of existence in All Elite Wrestling ever since he signed back during the pandemic. And initially, he came in with that gimmick of I'm the best man, and it was a bit of a like a hokey, like indie-rific gimmick, but we all knew that eventually, okay, they would get to something good, and they did. The Redeemer is genuinely one of the more interesting gimmicks that Miro, Rusev, whatever you want to call him, has had throughout his entire career. And I would actually argue, outside of maybe his initial main roster run in WWE, he has never looked better than when he was the Redeemer, because he was going out there, he was on the mic having some of the more entertaining promos, but still found a way to come across as serious. He was beating everyone he was in the ring with, having great matches, having great feuds, and all the while looking like a massive star in the process. And unfortunately, post the Redeemer, post that time, post Eddie Kingston, redeem these, you know what, just has not been able to catch fire. Now, there's been speculation and reporting that one of the big reasons behind this has been creative frustrations between Miro and AEW. I believe Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select had reported at one point that one of the big reasons that you don't see Miro often is because they have creative differences. It was reported, I believe, I can't remember who exactly reported this, but it was also reported that at a certain point, Miro wanted just to be gone from from AEW entirely. And again, when a talent is not being used for well over a year, as was in the case with Miro, and the talent has been as sparingly used as Miro over the last couple of years, it begs a lot of questions. And I think today we're kind of getting answers. The reality is Miro and AEW just did not work. Creatively, outside of those couple of months where he was the Redeemer, it just didn't work. People wanted to like it. People wanted to see more of it on TV. It just never got off the ground. I think eventually Miro is someone who's very, very public about like speaking his mind. I think he'll definitely have something to say on this front for sure. Let's move on and just talk about very quickly Malakai Black. So those of you who are longtime watchers of the show, by the way, be sure to smash that subscribe button, will remember that we've talked about Malakai Black. It was expected that he was going to be gone from AEW, but what was not expected was him to have his contract elapse. Many people expected him to be released. However, it does seem, by hook or by crook, he is gone, as, again, PW Insider is reporting Malakai Black is now a free agent. Black's AEW contract expired yesterday. So Malakai Black, as of Super Bowl 59, is now gone from AEW completely. Something, again, we all expected. We were just kind of waiting on the confirmation of the date. We knew that it wouldn't be before the Royal Rumble, which is exactly why you didn't see him in that match. But now the question is not if, but when will WWE sign him? We already know that there is interest from Triple H. We already know that he's likely going to have a main roster run if he goes there. There's a couple of spots, unfortunately, that opened up given some of the firings from WWE this week. So he definitely has at least a spot on that roster, and they had damn near 6 hours of TV time. It would be bewildering if they didn't find a way to have Malakai Black on TV. But he's a Triple H guy. He's someone who Triple H really liked in NXT and did a lot with, even made him the NXT champion. And I think that this is, again, another case where there's a lot of start and go with him in AEW. And in the beginning, it was great. It was spectacular. And then there were multiple months where he just wasn't on TV. So, again, I think there's certain situations that I think we'll kind of hear more about over the next couple of months. I don't expect this one to be as informative, I would say, than the others, but we'll see. One person who I fully expect everyone to be talking about this week is Ricky Starks. Let's talk about the major news. Earlier today, it was reported that Ricky Starks' name was removed from the AEW roster, was removed from the AEW website. This led to speculation that he was gone from the company, and now we have, indeed, the confirmation. Wrestle Purists, thank you for the aggregation, but most of all, thank you, PW Insider, for reporting Ricky Starks is no longer with AEW. He is free and clear to go anywhere else to perform. This is the big one. Ricky Starks, like I said before, has not been seen on AEW TV for nearly a year at this point. One of the reasons was that AEW had claimed at a certain point that he was not medically cleared. Ricky Starks did an interview essentially refuting that. Ricky Starks then was not on TV, not being brought in. We heard rumblings that there were creative differences. He didn't want to lose to Big Bill, all that kind of stuff. And recently, I believe Fightful had reported that Ricky actually was not trying to stay with AEW, that he had an option year they had an option year, AEW did, and he told them, don't extend it. I would like to leave. I would like to go do something elsewhere. And AEW instead extended it. Now we are learning that Ricky is no longer with the company. And again, free and clear to go anywhere. We'll talk about whether or not we'll see him in WWE soon. I spoiler alert, I have a hunch that he'll probably be there soon. But why didn't this work? This, to me, was the most baffling one. Because there's no mistake about it. Ricky Starks is an undeniable character, superstar, wrestler, everything, all of the above. The fact that they couldn't make this work is an indictment. This is genuinely one of the biggest fumbles for Tony Khan as a booker. Genuinely one of the biggest fumbles. And look, supplementary information will come out. I reserve the right to change my opinion based off of that information. But given what we know now, this seems to be a case where, for whatever reason, Ricky and AEW just butted heads, and it didn't seem like things were going to work out. And my case has always been, it's one thing to say, okay, I'm going to honor a contract. I'm going to, you signed for X amount of years, what it is. I'm not going to release you because, you signed the contract, and, that's just the rule here. We do it for people who, we may want to cut, but we're also going to do it for people who may want out. But if you extend a person, right? If you extend a person who doesn't want to be there, and then you have a guy who is an elite level talent like Ricky Starks is, great on the promos, great on the mic, great in the ring. He's proved it time and time again. When you have all of that, you would think the very least you would do is have him come to TV and lose, put other people over. Tell him to come to TV. That never happened. They never used him. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why this happened, but I think Ricky is definitely going to talk about it at some point. And when he does, oh boy, that is going to be an interview to keep an eye on. Bottom line, though, what's going to happen with Ricky Starks? He's going to WWE. It will, like, not a report or whatever, but, I mean, look, he's going to WWE. Come on. And the interesting thing is, this weekend, NXT Vengeance Day in Washington, D.C., if they want to have a big surprise at the end of that show, if you guys want to really change the game, make NXT an interesting brand that everyone needs to tune into, you sign this guy and you bring him and you put him on that brand. Ricky Starks should carry NXT for at least the next 6 months. We'll talk about him going to the main roster. It's a whole different animal, but Ricky in NXT, Ricky in WWE, I would fully expect that. Guys, what a day for AEW news. What a day for wrestling in general. What a weekend. We had, unfortunately, the releases a couple of days ago. Now we are having this situation. Interesting free agent landscape for pro wrestling, isn't it? All right, guys, let me know in the comment section, though. What do you guys think about these three names? They're now free agents. What do you see them doing over the next couple of weeks, months, potentially years? Let me know in the comments section below. Also, be sure to smash that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much to everyone who tuned in to this video to the end. I appreciate every single one of you. Consider becoming a channel member. Check out OT Graps on Tuesdays. Check out my show, Wrestling with Omer, on Thursdays and Sundays. Until next time, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.